Hello, I'm Adjunct Professor Wade Renando, and I'm here to share what kind of synchronous and asynchronous technology I like to use for teaching classes, both online and in person. And one of my favorite tools to use is Big Blue Button. This is something that comes with the Canvas setup. You can see the button in the bottom left corner, and essentially it allows the instructor to have asynchronous learning, like live meetings that you can have a certain amount of time, say once a week, or you can record little videos that can be posted on the Canvas website that students can look at their own time. I like to do a combination of both, but I especially like to use it for asynchronous learning. What I will often do is if I'm teaching my regional geography class, we will have meetings once a week, usually Wednesday or Tuesday at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will post something on the calendar with a link to the Big Blue Button meeting so students can easily access it. I will post a little YouTube video explaining how Big Blue Button works before the first meeting, and then students can attend the meeting and you can have interactive discussions with them. Students can have a microphone and they can ask questions during the Big Blue Button meeting, although most students don't have a microphone. And if they have one, they have to put it on mute so you don't hear background noise from them. But it's a very good way to have meetings roughly every week. I've noticed that if you don't make it required, often the number of students who attend isn't very large. Sometimes you'll have as few as 2 or 3. So the first time I started using Big Blue Button and we had relatively few students attend, the next time I taught my class, I made it a requirement. I made it worth 10% of the grade, whether you attended or didn't. If a student cannot attend a Big Blue Button meeting, then they have to send me an email in advance explaining why they're not able to attend. Many have jobs, many have school athletics. A lot of my students are high school students, so they're dual enrolled students. And then during the meetings, you test your microphone, have a little chat, make sure that the students can hear you and respond to your chat posts. And then once everything is working technologically, you can start recording it. And then a nice thing about Big Blue Button is you can have polls, so you can ask interactive questions such as, what Köppen climate would you like to live in? That's a common question I ask. Köppen climate classifications have A, B, C, D, and E climates that are further broken down into subcategories. You have tropical, you have desert and dry, you have mid-latitude, mild, continental, and so on. So I'll often ask students, of these 12 or 13 broad categories of climates, what would you like to live in? Then they can vote on it interactively during the session. You also can have breakout rooms. So if you have a large group of 20, you can break it into 4 groups of 5 during the Big Blue Button meeting. In addition to that, you have a multi-user whiteboard that you can use. So while you're giving a presentation, you can draw on a map or a slide you might have, and then students can also do the same if you allow them to. And you can also take a PowerPoint presentation or some presentation and bring it into Big Blue Button, or you can share a screen and then use a PowerPoint presentation you might have for notes and not necessarily bring it in to the session itself. I think it's very useful if you have 2 dual monitors, so you can have one that looks at student questions and basically the overall how the meeting is going, and then another separate monitor for a PowerPoint presentation you might have with notes. So I think that that's very useful. And then when you end the meeting, you can either leave meeting or end meeting. If you click end meeting, it starts the post process where the recorded session is processed into usually an MP4 format. I think it's best to record the meetings, process it into an MP4 format, and then put that on YouTube and then have a link from the course page to that YouTube video. That seems to be the best way of doing it. Everyone can access YouTube. And then I also think it's important to, again, make it a requirement. And then if someone can't attend the session live, you can have them watch the recorded version of the session that's posted on the course website, and then have them answer 2 questions about that recorded video that is only in the video, not in the book, to make sure that they've watched the video. Usually I have a question about a third away and 2/3 of the way through the presentation. That's only in the presentation. So you have to watch the recorded video in order to know how to answer those 2 questions. Then they can just email the answer to those 2 questions that I posted within the video. So Big Blue Button is probably the most useful tool I've used for synchronous and asynchronous learning, useful for online courses or courses that are hybrid or even taught in person. You can post little videos about things that are in the news, 1 or 2 minute videos about something you've heard about related to a topic you're covering. And it's been a very useful tool that I've enjoyed using. So thank you.